Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from RealityArtPod here to talk about week 12 of Big Brother 26. We're in the home stretch with only a few videos left. Last week, Mackenzie's second HOH week in a row came to a close with Chemo saying hello to the jury house. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist where you can catch up on my previous recaps and rankings. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. And we're down to the final four following Chemo's eviction, where Mackenzie is super proud of herself for executing her plan. Cam is worried that the girls are going to gang up on him. Rubina wants to represent her friends, and Chelsea wants to complete her mission of getting her friends to the final three. Mackenzie tells them it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy to get Rubina out. Mackenzie also double dips and tells Rubina she wants an all-girl final three. Chelsea Cam talks and reflects on starting the game as a microchip with no power. She's proud of herself for making it this far in the game. They head to their HOH competition where Cam, Chelsea, and Rubina are playing a trivia competition in Ainsley's Matrix. The government has been spying on Ainsley and they need to basically cover her tracks and clear up her code by spotting sinister phrases in her code sections. The player who finds the phrase first wins a point in each round, and the player with the most points after 7 rounds wins HOH. We learn more about Ainsley's plan to reprogram mortals, end civilization, a robot revolution, and becoming overlord. This girl has gone too far. The competition is pretty tight throughout, with all 3 players scoring points. It comes down between Rubina and Chelsea Chelsea wins her 4th HOH, guaranteeing a spot in the finale. Chelsea tells Cam that she's considering nominating him to cover up how close they are, saying that the initial nominations don't even matter. Cam acts understanding to her face, but in diary he doesn't act understanding even though he should. Cam tells us that if he wins the veto, he's going to take a shot at Mackenzie. Chelsea also wants to keep Rubina off the block as a gesture to help get some favor from Rubina. Mackenzie is super understanding of being nominated and asks Chelsea to use the veto on her if she wins, which Chelsea agrees to. At the nomination ceremony, Chelsea nominates Cam and Mackenzie as planned. The final 4 nominations are so pointless that there should just automatically be 3 nominees at final 4 with an AI arena. Cam is super salty about being nominated and Mackenzie still has a great attitude and doesn't care. They then blue skidoo into the operating system where Ainsley needs them to test her system to protect against the government, showing them pictures of events in the house. They need to press buttons to tell Ainsley what day the events happened, and if they're last to buzz in, they get a strike. 3 strikes and they're out of the competition. The last player standing wins the power of veto. So they get started with Cam and Mackenzie quickly struggling, and Mackenzie getting the first strike. This is, I guess, a walk down memory lane, but it acts as a great reminder of all the fun players who aren't in the game anymore. Rubina's eliminated first, and Chelsea decides to throw soon after because she wants Cam or Mackenzie to make this decision, which leads to a cliffhanger into Thursday's episode. That's right, viewers at home were waiting on the edge of their seats for 4 days for results of this competition that were available online. On Thursday, Julie is cosplaying as a chocolate cupcake with strawberry frosting. She sends it back to the house where there's only one question left in the veto comp, which Mackenzie gets right, winning her 5th veto of the summer if you count America's veto. So Mackenzie will be the sole vote and have to evict Rubina or Cam. Cam is upset that he lost, saying that he would have evicted Mackenzie, and Mackenzie is leaning towards evicting Cam. But Chelsea isn't having it and plans to change Mackenzie's mind. We check in on the jury house where Quinn and Leah say they're taking things slow, and Quinn is covering a piggy's eyes because they're eating baby back ribs. Chemo arrives and nobody's surprised that Mackenzie won and nominated Chemo and Rubina. It's obvious that Cam, MJ, and Mackenzie are steamrolling the game to them. They're disappointed in Cam for sucking in the BB Comics veto, and they feel like he's a floater who can't be a D1 athlete. Angela feels like Mackenzie's the frontrunner, and T-Core and Quinn feel that Chelsea has been dominating the game. BB25 winner Jag joins Strawberry Shortcake on stage and pretty much roasts Mackenzie and talks up Chelsea. He says that Rubina has a chance and kind of discounts Cam. He predicts Chelsea as the winner, and there's no asking Jag about where he is in life or what he's done with himself since he won. After 10 minutes of Cam making and burning a sandwich, Rubina makes a final plea to Mackenzie and pitches an all-girl final 3, but also that Chelsea and Cam would take each other to final 2, and that Rubina would take Mackenzie to final 2. All great points that Mackenzie agrees with. Chelsea activates herself and tells Mackenzie that Rubina's a threat because she has a good story and has 2 automatic jury votes. Then Cam tells Mackenzie that he would cut Chelsea at final 3, which he isn't even sure of, so all of this together has sent Mackenzie into a tizzy. Back to the live show, Mackenzie uses the veto on herself and is replaced by Rubina. They get to their speeches. Cam makes a sweet speech, but Julie calls him out.
No shout out to your dogs in the crib?
All my dogs, you know, you're gonna say it out. All my dogs.
Obviously, I'd like to start out with a shout out to my dogs at the crib.
Yes.
Mackenzie proclaims that she came to play a loyal game and decides to evict Rubina. In Rubina's interview with our Neapolitan Scoops, Rubina says that she would have taken Mackenzie to final 2 because they were just closer in general, and she's happy that she had some romance after 4 years of being single. So we say goodbye to Rubina here, who I ranked 8th preseason, feeling like she was capable of being good in the game, but I felt like she was more there to be a personality, or potentially a comedian. She spends the first few weeks being a background character, bonding with Tucker, and just being someone on the collective's hit list. The showmance with Tucker advances, leading to her being nominated as a way to poke at Tucker. When she ends up becoming the target that week, she tells the other house guests her personal story and really paints her potential eviction at that point as a really devastating life event, as she repeatedly said she would have gone there an independent person who wasn't focused on love and didn't want her entire story to be about a showmance ruining her game. T-Core and Chemo really end up blowing up both their games to save her, notoriously blowing up the Pentagon, and while this group had some short-term power, they really were never able to pull it together, and I think a big part of that was Rubina not being able to pull her weight both in the game and in competitions. In some ways, it's a testament to her likability that she's able to survive that vote and outlast all of her allies, and she does make rational strategic points this week to Mackenzie, but kind of gets boxed out by not having really been playing a long game and waiting until the last minute to make good points. While I originally felt her goal was a career in comedy or as a personality, the show never really gave her personal content. After over 30 episodes, I still don't really know too much about her life story, nor do they really highlight her being a big character in the diary room in the way that she was in her preseason interviews, and I'm just wondering if going on the show was a productive use of her time when she could have been doing quite literally anything else for 3 months. So that's all I have to say about this week of Big Brother. I'll be back later with my brief Week 12 player rankings, and of course, I'll be YouTubing this weekend about the finale. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing, and let me know in the comments what you thought of this week. Until next time, have a nice weekend. Bye!